Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Vole and I create and build Lego guns that all shoot. Now today's episode is going to be on this beautiful little spy pistol. Though she may be but little, she is fierce. And that is not just me quoting Shakespeare. And it's just a beautiful thing that I hope you will enjoy this video. But before we go into the video, I'd like to say thank you for 50 subscribers. For some people it's not a lot of subscribers, but for me it's quite a deal. Because I started the whole thing a while ago, back on 27, and I would have been glad for the channel to grow to 30. Now I'm starting to get a larger growth than I expected on my channel. I'd like to say thank you to people who would like to watch and enjoy my content and watch the channel grow on a whole. Thank you very much for doing so, and now we're going to start with the episode. On accurate and powerful Lego guns, where today we're going to be discussing a brand new pocket pistol. Now, we haven't really had a go at pocket pistols. We've had a go at brick shooters and they haven't been the best of attempts, but I can say with a great amount of accuracy that this is miles better than the ones I have created before. Now, this brick shooter is very simple. It is a single action brick shooter that fires a 1x1 brick. It is small and compact, with a nice small trigger pull, a slanted pistol grip, simple to use mechanism, simple to create, very sturdy design, and a small trigger pull. It works really well, it is accurate and powerful, as we're about to find out today in this episode. Now, before we go into range testing this beautiful gun, I'm just going to show you how you load it, how you chamber it, and how you fire it. So first things first, just anything you do on a single action, you cock the hammer. Then, in the barrel, you place the brick in the gun so that only a small amount of it, preferably the stud, is sticking out. You aim the gun and you fire, like that. It's easy to use and compact. But now we're going to find out how far this gun goes. So without further ado, it's now time to test the range. Now here we are with the range test, and what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this gun 3 times, and then after we're going to see just how far this gun has gone. So here's our first test. And here's our second test. And here is our third and final test. Now that was the range test. Now we're going to go and see just how far this gun has shot. Now, one good thing with this gun, range-wise, is the fact they went in a pretty tight group. Maybe not a tight group overall, but in terms of range, they all went at the same 5-meter mark. In which these 2 bullets went on this side, and this 1 bullet went at that side. Despite them being in 2 completely different locations, it doesn't change the fact that all the distances were pretty much the same. Okay, yes, there might be a slight difference between the lot, but they're pretty much the same. Soon we're going to test the accuracy of this gun, but before we do, allow me to talk about the logistics. Holy shit. If there was an award for the most surprising pistol, then this spy pistol would win the award 4 years in a row. For a gun that's just about bigger than my hand, it sure does pack a punch. It's super reliable and super powerful. Not only is this gun powerful, it is also simple and straightforward to use. The sights on this gun are your average everyday pistol sights. They're good. They're not the best sights in the world, but they work really well. They're not advanced, however you can still put red dot sights and whatnot on the gun. Mechanism is very recognizable, and if you've guessed single action, you've guessed correctly. It uses a single action hammer, very similar to a revolver, and chambering it is also very straightforward. To fire it, all you need to do is pull the trigger ever so slightly. You don't need to pull it with too much vigor, you just need to pull it slightly and it will fire. As for the mechanism, it is very similar to my crossbow mechanism that I showed you last episode, only this time the hammer is the thing carrying the force into the bullet. This is very similar to a certain type of pistol that uses an external hammer, kind of like the Desert Eagle and M1911. It's not semi-automatic, however it does use an external hammer. For it to work, the trigger part has to be strongly down on the gear. This part stops the gear from going forward, thus keeping the hammer locked back. As soon as you pull the trigger, this bit lets go and the hammer goes forward. The trigger guard is also very simple. Once you have your elements, it's easy to put together. This uses a slightly different technique of trigger guard. The studded ends of the trigger guard fit into these studs in the central holes of the 2x3 base plates. Like that. For more comfortability, we've made this bottom part flat and made the flat part facing down. There are only 3 rubber bands, 2 of which are compulsory. This rubber band controls the trigger, this rubber band propels the hammer, and this rubber band prevents this from going like that. This is optional, however if you're planning to have a lot of power going down, it's extremely recommended. With this rubber band, the trigger mechanism is a lot more reliable. In general, we've got a small beast that packs a good punch. It works really well, it's really easy to use, and it's powerful. But is it accurate? That's what we're going to find out now with our accuracy test. How accurate is this pistol? We've got this gun, we've got our starting point, and we've got our 3 targets over there. Now it's time to see if this can hit them. Test number 1. Pass. Test number 2. Fail. Test number 3. Pass. That is 2 out of 3. Despite this gun not being perfect, it has managed to hit 2 out of 3 of the targets. The one target it did not hit, it went very close to hitting, which shows that despite its miss, it was a good gun. In my opinion, it's brilliant and nice. It's a great, compact, small pistol. It fits in your pocket. It can fit anywhere. So there's almost no limitations. Of course, it can't fit in really tight pockets and in really tiny areas. However, it fits in almost everything. Despite this, this gun does not fuck around. It's brilliant. It's powerful. It's accurate. And it's probably going to be precise as well, as we've seen with trends on our guns. Feels really nice in my hand. Nothing's being forced. My hand is perfectly happy in the position it's in, and it's the perfect position for handling this Lego gun. It's a very simple cocking mechanism. It's a hammer action. It's a single action like the one you would see on revolver pistols. So it's nothing new, especially if you are familiar with the revolver. It's got really good, decent sights on here, which usually are very pinpoint. So there aren't any complaints there. And it's very sturdy overall. The cons about this gun, however, are that sometimes the trigger guard can break. That's if you put too much pressure on it. Sometimes you have to really try, but sometimes it can be very easy to take off the trigger guard, which is a good thing for those that don't like it and a bad thing for those who really want it on there. The rubber bands on this gun also break a bit easily, which means that if, for whatever reason, they break, you're going to have to find some new ones. So you'll only really be able to create this gun with a lot of rubber bands. You need like this really super secret storage that actually I don't even have. So I've created a creation that if I continue using it the way I am, and this is with constant use, I won't have any resources for any of my other guns. They drain your rubber bands, so I'd have to go out and buy some new ones, which isn't too much of a biggie, but hey-o. Focusing on our next con is the fact that it is a single shot. It's not a repeater, which is a bad thing. I want to have one shot, hammer, fire, at least 2 shots, maybe even 3, 4 or 5. It's only a nitpick. It doesn't affect my overall opinion of this gun. And as our final one, the trigger can be really ludicrous. It could be like, it depends on how far you cock the hammer. If you cock the hammer to a reasonable length, it won't happen and you'll get a really good trigger pull that's really quick and small. But if you cock it way too far, you'll go like, and it will spend like 5 seconds before you even pull it. So if you are taking this out into a battle against your friends, do not cock this gun too far. I can't stress it enough. Now we are going to just give a general thought. Now, to say that it's not my favourite gun. My favourite gun is a hunting rifle. It is my second favourite. It was going to be the crossbow, but in fact this one is the surpriser. It surprised me, and it's probably surprised anyone viewing this. People were probably going to think that this was going to be a weak gun, and most small Lego guns are weak. I'm not dissing any of them because some of them are really advanced and really cool, but this is very small and surprisingly very powerful. Now that I've talked to you about my general thoughts, my general opinion, it's time to do the precision test. Okay, we're going to do the same process, but this time with a smaller distance, taking into account the size of the gun. So we're going to do our first precision test. In the right trajectory. So test 1. Pass. So here we are with our second precision test. Pass. Here is our third and final test. All 3 pass. From the precision test, we can see that clearly, despite its size, this gun is accurate and powerful. Not only that, but precise, which means that most shots, and we're not going to say all because we only did 3 shots, so most shots will hit the point of which you are aiming at. And it is a beautiful gun to hold. And it just goes to show that even the smallest of guns can kick your ass. Now we're about to finish, but before we do, we're going to show you 2 guns that are coming up pretty soon. First one is semi-automatics. Yes, again, we're going back to the rubber band gun. But this is because I've added a few techniques to the rubber band gun. We've got the slanted grip and we've got a thin trigger guard. And we managed to put it into a pistol. And as an improvement from our rifle, the connections are inside the gun, not outside. The pistol grip feels a lot better in your hand, and the magazine goes in very fluently. The only reason why it's this thin is because, well, obviously, I've got to make sure that the gun on a whole is stable. But one gun I did promise to talk to you a little about was this beast. Now, it's kind of based off my hunting rifle. It has certainly got the same mechanism, but this time the way you load it is different. Today we're not actually going to show you me firing it, but we're just going to show you how this gun looks and how I thought this was probably a really good gun. Now, it's very nice and refined. It's strong. It has a pretty good power. Not as powerful as my hunting rifle, obviously, because of less length in the barrel. And whilst that for some Lego guns means weaker, for this one, or this type of mechanism, longer barrel means stronger. And of course it works really, really well. The mechanism is reliable and the trigger is very easy to pull. But showing you and demonstrating that heavy pistol won't be until 2 episodes time, so it will be this semi-automatic pistol followed by that, so we've still got quite a bit of time. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, click like. If you want to see more, click subscribe, and of course we won't have an episode next week, but The week after we'll be demonstrating this semi-automatic pistol.